everyone. Welcome to No Movies in Hell. I'm Chris Geiger.
I'm LaCroix Scott, and today we are reviewing Heretic, starring Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant has done some interesting things lately.
He has. He's in his villain era. I was, after I saw this movie, I was like, he was a villain in Paddington II. He's found his niche. Almost like, I feel like Colin Firth has found a niche, recently. He's not like, he's kind of like an action hero now. And so now it's like, it's a second, you go from romantic lead to like literal villain. Also Jude Law too. He's like in the MCU.
He was Henry VIII.
Yeah.
And he's in a new movie that's coming out. He's not, I don't think he's a villain in this movie. I think he's in the FBI called The Order. I saw a trailer for it today. Also, Hugh Grant was in Willy Wonka.
He was. Yeah, he was in.
Not as a villain exactly, but kind of a troublemaker.
Yeah. He's a real scoundrel.
Yeah. I liked Heretic.
Okay. I kind of figured you would.
I thought going in it was going to be a horror movie, but after watching it, I said I put it in the thriller category.
Okay. I did the same. I thought it was going to be more horror, but actually I appreciate the thriller and like the storytelling and those elements more so than the actual horror.
Although there were some pretty horrific scenes, so let's not discount that aspect of it. I thought the acting was really good. I thought the two girls, who I don't think I've seen in anything before, were really good. Yeah. Let's go to the slides.
Okay.
So we're really close.
Mm-hmm.
We got there different ways.
Yeah. So, like you, I thought the acting was really good. I thought some aspects of the cinematography were pretty good because you had to like zoom in on things. There are very specific tones and even like the color schemes and things of this kind of maze of this home. And that kind of carried over into like the production and quality. I gave it a 2.5 for Rater's Choice and story because should I spoil it or some aspect of it? But the prophet part, right? And him wanting to explain prophet part just felt a little more, that was the horror piece. And I just felt like that was really, it wasn't done very well. I think if you left that part out and you kept it to, having these characters question their belief and why he wanted them there would have been horror enough. I was just like, I think it's, okay.
Yeah, the prophet part did seem odd because he was saying like he wanted them to bear witness and like, but bear witness to whom? Because they're never going to get out of there.
Yes, exactly. So it's like, okay, great. Where would the documentation be for them to go and say they saw this thing? As
a thriller, I think if I had rated this as a horror, it would have gotten a higher score. But as a thriller, there is some stiff competition in the thriller category. And I had just 2 days before this watched Stoker, which is also a thriller, and I thought really well done. So it's hard when you consume a whole lot of content back to back to kind of look at something in isolation.
Yes.
But I definitely would recommend it. And I did think the story was interesting and something I hadn't seen before. Mm-hmm. So it got a 3 for both of those. Cinematography, I gave it a 2 because I felt like it was very confined. Sometimes thrillers have an expansive footprint. But this one is very play-like. It all kind of happens, like, you do some stuff outside, and then it all happens in the house.
Yes. Yeah. It's like a one scene play.
Yeah, different parts of the house, but I can definitely see this being a play. But I only give it a 2 for cinematography. Also, they said at one point that one of the doors was green and one of them was purple. And I felt like they were both kind of the same color. So I don't know if I'm going colorblind. the doors were actually different colors.
The doors looked exactly the same.
Right. So maybe I misheard them, but I thought, oh, was one of the doors purple?
Also, like there's so many things that just did not make sense. If the prophet, how would they like replace the prophet without the extra noise and the speed? And if these people are like immobile, like how can they move that fast? Because it's literally like minutes, you know.
Right. There were two girls, and they're full grown women. Like they're not,
Mhm.
12. At a certain point, they could have overpowered him. I mean, they didn't know what was going to happen. So at first they might have been meek, but once he's taken once you open the door and you see that it's just basement down there, like that's when
Yeah.
you turn around and go, all right, there's two of us and one of you. So
Yeah.
guess what's going to happen next?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was a little belated in that aspect because it's like as soon as you get to like the second room after I guess the living room, it was just like, okay, there's a lot of things to your disposal, but like you're taught to be polite and to wait and to anticipate, and that's an issue if your goal, like if regardless of religion, but if the goal is to get something from someone or to educate someone or to sell something, all they care about is the sell. And then you get into this environment where it's like, okay, does not look good. I need to get out of this situation. And you are politely asking to leave. And this person is not, um, not respecting your wishes.
Once it becomes kidnapping, then it's on.
Yes. Yeah. Um, yeah. And then the time that it took for him to like hide things so that when when the elder came, it was just kind of like, hey, have you seen these girls?
Yeah. Yeah. So in a horror movie, I feel like you get away with all of that. In a thriller, you got to have answers.
Yeah. Yeah. So how does he have money to do this? What is his day job? Like, how does he have a house that is
Right.
on the side of the hill and he's able to like like how does he have all this time to study religion?
Build this labyrinthian house. Or why doesn't anyone come looking for? I mean, he has several women there.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. How do they get fed?
Or why doesn't anyone look for them?
Yep.
Or if people do look for them, why don't they find, at some point they're going to have to be like, the last time we saw him, they're supposed to go to this guy's house.
Yeah, and he was on a list. So he was on a list to be um visited at some point. So he had to have left his house in order to find yeah.
Yeah. So, but interesting and good for Hugh Grant and those two girls because I feel
Yeah.
like they did a good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have anything to plug in this episode?
So we are very close to Oscar movie season. Got Conclave coming up. Got Nosferatu, which seems like it's going to be a very big thing. And on Christmas Day, we have Gladiator II coming very soon. Wicked Part 1. So lots of really great movies coming out.
Now, here's the thing about Wicked. I don't want to see it, but I kind of do because I think that first of all, Michelle Yeoh, I
Yeah.
love her.
Yes.
And her wig alone makes me want to watch this just so I can watch her hair. I also feel like they are not advertising it as part one at all.
No, they're not. Yeah.
I would, if I went and saw it and then realized it was part one, I would be mad.
Yeah. I don't know why they would do that, especially knowing that the stage play is long. But it also does a disservice. I mean, I wonder if they think, okay, if it doesn't do well, we're not going to release part 2, which would be really odd.
Have they already filmed it? I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
Yeah. So yes, it's interesting that I've not seen anything that says it's part one. There is a new movie trailer that I saw this weekend called Love Hurts. Have you seen that? It's Kehi Kwan.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
That looks fun, but that's not coming out until February.
Oh.
I know. But still, I'm sure we'll see the trailer many more times. And then I saw a trailer for a movie that's coming out. Tilda Swinton is in it. And it's a musical.
Oh.
It appears very dystopian. And in the trailer, it seems like she and her family are surviving in this ice cave. But it's a musical. And I normally don't like musicals.
Really?
But I want to see this.
Okay. Huh, interesting.
Yes. My argument against musicals. So I don't really I'm not a huge music fan to start with, which I know makes me a very small part of the population. But to me, watching a musical is like taking 5 times longer to say whatever it is you're trying to say to advance the plot. Like, just say it and then we can move on. Like,
you don't like people to convey their emotions via song.
I don't.
That's partially why you don't like Disney movies and cartoons.
Yes. Although that is funny because I do, for adult animation, I do like when they sing. So I don't know what it is. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about musicals that just, yeah. I'm sure there's some deep psychological trigger or like it says something about me, but, and that's probably not flattering since I'm in the minority.
No, like, I'm shocked, like, no, and I guess I'm just discovering this, like, no music, like, you don't go out to, like, concerts that.
No, I mean, if he just wants to go to a concert, I'll go with him. But I almost never am like, oh, let's go to this. Like, I'd maybe go see Adele or, like Cher or, but
Okay.
yeah, it never even crosses my mind to like look to see who's on tour.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I know. I'm sure that like part of me is dead inside. I don't know what that means or what the correlation is to that, my emotional well-being, but I accept it. It's been with me my whole life. So
it's all good.
Yeah. But I do want to see the end, which is the new Tilda Swinton musical coming out.
Sweet.
Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.